Sometimes toy companies get really excited for the next big toy line. They show it off in pictures and at toy fair, but then it never gets to the store. Let's look at one cool line from Hasbro that we almost got. Hey guys, I got a video for you today. I think you're gonna like this one. Although there's not really a lot of information to go through, so it's not gonna be like a 20-minute breakdown. But we're gonna look at a toy line planned by Hasbro for 1990. Now Hasbro never really got into the fantasy. line. He-Man was tearing up the numbers in the 80s. Some other toy companies had their version of He-Man trying to capture in some of those sales, but Hasbro never really could capture that market. So they got to work with it with a toy line called Tribes, and their plan was to release this in the year 1990. But as you know, right there in the late 80s, He-Man started to tank. Mattel would try to relaunch it, and it would do okay. It wouldn't be a hit like it used to be, and we don't really know why, but Hasbro just decided not to do this line. Maybe they saw the fantasy genre of big muscle figures was going down the drain, so they wanted to move on to better things. Now again, we really don't know why they decided to wash their hands. You think it because this line went through a lot. I mean, it's more than just concept art. They went through making the cards for the figures, prototypes of the figures, showing them off at Toy Fair in 1990. They were in the Hasbro Toy Fair magazine. It seemed like Hasbro was really gearing up to release this thing as a big toy line until they got cold feet. As you can see, looking at these, we're going to look at them in just a second, you can tell they were trying to go for that He-Man crowd, the kids that love He-Man. But first, I'll tell you a little bit about the backstory that we do know. These tribe figures could wear a mask in different outfits, and there was different tribes. There was Thunder Bear, Firehawk, Wildcat, and the evil Screaming Skull tribe. That sounds like a badass tribe right there. I know you're not supposed to root for the bad guys, but that sounds pretty cool. The slogan of this toy line was, "Only the strong survive." And they had a little gimmick. First, they had a pop-off mask. So you got like they got punched in the face and pop that mask right off. It was just a push of the button, a 1-2 punch. And I don't know, this is Kizom. I don't know how you pronounce it. You'll tell me, I'm sure. But there it is right there. Anyway, this was the company that was making these toys, and they were picked up by Hasbro. Now, this design company renamed itself the Oob, I guess. These are some strange names. But anyway, Hasbro decided not to do it. This company moved on. They changed their name, like I said, in 2016. It was then when they were downsizing, and they were selling their New Jersey office. And guess what they came across? These prototypes, a lot of concept art, how the card package is going to look, all that. And luckily this discovered, it got them out there to the public, as Hank's auction will sell off a lot of this stuff. But let's take a look at some of the figures. Here they are right here. They look really well done. I think this could have been a pretty cool toy line. Again, I think maybe if they hit around the mid-80s with this, it would have done better. But then again, kids might have been saying, hey, you're just trying to rip off He-Man. These figures would have been 6 inches. And like I said, each of these sets were broken down to tribes. There was the Thunder Bear tribe that had Iron Paw, Dark Hunter, Young Bear. There was also Firehawk tribe that had Sky Shadow, Nightwing, and Hawk Keeper. And there was the Wildcat tribe that had Fast Cat and Tiger Paw. And then there was the evil Screaming Skull tribe that had Gray Snake, Stone Bones, Bone Chiller, Spine Tingler. Ooh, that's a good nickname right there, Spine Tingler. There was even a playset that was discovered. Yep, look at this thing. That looks like it'd have been a lot of fun. Now again, there's not really a lot of information about this. Now, if you want to check out a book about unreleased toys, check out Blake Wright's Toys That Time Forgot. In Volume 1, he goes over this toy line. To me, they seem to try to reach a little bit more younger audience than maybe He-Man. To me, He-Man always seemed to be more of that 10 to 12. This looks like maybe your starting kit for action figures. It has a little bit more kiddie look to it, at least when they put the mask on. But they do look like a lot of fun. I mean, I've seen some that come with bone nunchucks. How cool is that? Bone nunchucks. And of course, there were animals and creatures they could ride on, birds to fly on, dinosaur looking things to ride on. I even saw something that looked like an alligator. And some of them had a crossbow, some of them had a whipping tail action. And you hit a button and the wings would flap on the bird. And the Tribal Tower playset, man, that thing was just cool looking. Now this looks like it should have been based on a cartoon, or they should have had a cartoon to go along with it. But as far as I know, there was no 1990 cartoon called Tribes. There was a TV show in 1990 called Tribes, but that show was an after-school soap opera for teens, so I doubt it had anything to do with this. Again, I wish I could tell you why Hasbro decided not to do this line. I don't know, maybe they showed them off at Toy Fair and there was just no real interest. Maybe they saw the tides were turning and they wanted to focus on some other things. But I kind of wish this toy line got out there. I think they look really cool. I don't know, let me know in the comments what you think. If you were a kid in 90, I was a little older, I wouldn't have bought them, but if I was, 8 or 9, I probably would have got these, or at least thought about it. Let me know what you think about this. Does it look cool? If you were a kid in 1990, would you have bought these? Let me know that, and more in the comments below.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.